Welcome to another episode of the Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Today, my guest, Dr. Akil Taher. He is a resurgent physician in Alabama. He is also a recovered bypass surgery patient and author, a septuagenarian athlete, a heart-healthy speaker, a holistic health and wellness consumer, and a proponent of whole food plant-based diet. Stick around. I'd like to introduce him to you. Hi, Dr. Taher. How are you?
Doing very well, Nancy, and thank you for having me on your show.
Oh, it's an honor to have you on this show. You have an amazing story, and we're going to get to that. But first, can you just tell me how you came to veganism?
You see, Nancy, in 2009, I had a bypass surgery. That is my thoughts on veganism started. But most of my adult life, I was a lover of rich food, unhealthy food. I was a seafood eater. Ate everything I saw. And then on top of it, I was a couch potato. I did no exercise. So with this, and then having a type A personality, trust me, I did only exercise my eye muscles seeing people run in the park. Now, with a type A personality and also with the stressful life, I really dealt a blow to my own personal life, my own family life, and my friends. Scant attention to this. So it was no surprise that in about when I was 56 years old, a heart disease came knocking at my door, and I had a heart disease, coronary artery disease. I had to stand Sputin, and then did I change my life? No. So the next 5 years were horrendous, and then it was again no surprise when I had to have the open heart bypass surgery. Now, that was an inflection point. That was a reflection point. So as they were taking me into the surgery room, I thought, should I go on living this life or should I make a change from a setback into a positive role? And I made up my mind. So I told the nurses in the ICU, they laughed at me. I said, if all went well, in a year's time, I will do half a marathon. But in 7 months after my open heart surgery, I did a half a marathon in Nashville, Tennessee. It took me 3.5 grueling hours, but I felt on top of Mount Everest.
Wow.
There's no stopping after that.
That's an amazing story. And you have kind of noted this whole transition and the person you were and the person you've become in this book, Open Heart, which I started to read and I'm still reading. And I just want to say it's an awesome book. It's full of just wonderful stories about how you came to veganism and all the things you have accomplished, marathon running, climbing mountains, and so forth. Tell us about that, about your book and about all these new exercising things that you're doing for someone who just used to exercise his eyes.
See, Nancy, this book is a transformational journey of a doctor who had such a bad this thing in life, attitude and diet, mainly diet, that he fell victim. Now, to get out of this, he had to make some drastic changes. And what helped me mainly was a vegan diet, supported by exercise, meditation, yoga. So all this supported me. And then there was fear initially. People don't want to live outside their comfort zone. So the fear of getting outside and doing, as my credo is, that adventure may hurt you, but monotony will kill you. I mean, adventure means anything, not only physical. So it is a fear. The fear was there. But if you take fear, if you do the thing that is most fearful, then death of fear is certain. Now, so I tried I want the people, your readers, to understand, to travel with me, to go on a journey, to see the mistakes I have made, and to learn from the mistakes and take small steps in their own lives in terms of diet, in terms of exercise, so that they can be helped. Because all royalties of the book are going to charity. I'm only interested in one thing, is cardiac disease. It is a number one killer. It is a leading cause of death, both in men and women today. So that is my main purpose. When you talk about my things, the next time I went around after my half a marathon, as you were asking me, I went on trekking to Mount Kailash in Tibet. I thought it was trekking, Nancy, but it was a pilgrimage. And I was not ready to do a pilgrimage, but I was in the Chinese territory. So they wouldn't let me go back having an American passport and being an Indian. So they said, and I said, if you can't beat them, join them. So I joined them and I enjoyed thoroughly. There was something that is there in spirituality that people cannot understand, any spirituality. And I came down, my wife turned around and said, there's something that has happened to you, you're mellowed down. And then came the drastic change that, look, I wear 3 hats. I'm a physician, I'm a heart disease survivor, and I'm an athlete. What was happening that I used to have huge chicken and steaks before and after each run? I just didn't feel good. Weeks I would be in bed after my long runs. I said, I'm doing everything. I'm exercising, I'm doing meditation. What is it, that one thing that I can't get this over? And I realized, diet. Diet is so important. Diet is more important than exercise. You cannot outrun your diet. Because if you run for about half an hour, 3 miles, you will spend 300 calories. You go to the McDonald's and you will get 500 calories in one burger. So you can't outrun your diet. Diet is more important than your exercise. And genetics people talk about. Genetics. No, it is not genetics that is running in your family. It is a bad diet that is running in your family. Not genetics. And genetics, even if you have, can mitigate it or make it better by your diet. So it is, somebody just recently told me, it's like a loaded gun is like your genetics. But when you pull the trigger, that's when you have a bad lifestyle. So, and then, I tried to, Nancy, even do triathlons, which I'd never biked, never swam in my life. But I learned those at a late age. People should realize that there is nothing that you can do at any age. You can do anything you want.
Wow. And now you are a physician who helps individuals reverse their diseases, right? And learn about the connection of the diet, as you were just talking about. Correct. In Alabama, right? Correct?
Correct. I live in Atlanta,
okay,
but I commute. But nowadays I'm not, because I'm doing telemedicine because of the COVID.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Dr. Taher, it was a pleasure to talk to you, to meet you. And definitely I recommend that everyone go get this book, because it just details the journey of an amazing person, Dr. Taher, and how he transitioned. And he talks about from being a personality, doing a personality change, to now becoming this more grounded individual. So thank you again for being here. I surely appreciate you and what you're doing now.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
Ahimsa, vegan. Thank you for joining us on another episode of The Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Remember to check out our Facebook page and follow us, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you won't miss an episode. If you have a pulse, you have a purpose. Live vegan.